Well, for more on the Supreme Court verdict, we're now being joined from Abuja studios by an APC member, Mr. Aliyu Lemo, and also Mr. Akinloye Oyeniyi of the People's Democratic Party. We'd like to thank you both for joining us at this time. Let me start with you, Mr. Oyeniyi. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, in his judgment, said, "We have examined all the briefs, exhibits for over 2 weeks." He agreed that, "We agree that there is no merit in the appeal and the appeal is hereby dismissed, and reasons to be given on a later date, a date to be announced." How disappointed were you at hearing this, seeing as the reasons were not given right away?
It is not, thank you, Millicent. It is not about how disappointed I am. It is how disappointed Nigerians are. You know, actually, the Supreme Court they've ruled, and that is the last court. That is the zenith of judiciary in Nigeria. There's nothing anybody can do about that. That is the final. But they ruled without reasons. If you look, see, it is not as if we are Nigerians are having issues with our judiciary. No, we are not having issues with anybody. We are not having issues whether it's legislators or executives. But if you look at how this case began and where it ended and how it ended, it actually calls for concern from all Nigerians. Like yesterday, let us look at the judgment yesterday. You know, there was argument about interlocutory appeal, not interlocutory appeal, from the PDP, from the APC, from INEC and the Buhari councils. And the court said they are going on recess, that when they are back, they will continue. But when the court came back, the CJI just ruled straight, just in 3 sentences, 3 words rather, that the appeal lacks merit. This was appeal that was containing issues of qualification. And see, there's one thing where I want Nigerians to know, and I want us to know. There are sources of laws. Laws can be made through case laws. That's from judicial pronouncement. Can be from enactment of National Assembly. Can be from any other. But what we are having now, according to the PEPT, that's a tribunal, that qualification is not needed. You don't necessarily need to attach your certificate. You don't necessarily need, just put an affidavit. I can just come up now that I have PhD in PhD in so field. Nobody is going to ask me if I'm going to run in 2023. INEC does not have the power to ask me that I should attach my document. Whatever I'm giving to INEC is whatever. If I say I'm a professor by affidavit, I am a professor by affidavit.
Let's hear from Mr. Aliyu Lemo of the APC. I mean, it's victory for your party. But, you know, other than what Mr. Oyeniyi is saying, which I would like you to respond to, a number of lawyers believe that the refusal to assent to the Electoral Amendments Bill benefited your party.
Well, I don't think the answer to that is clearly straightforward as you put it. Yesterday marks the end of a long-drawn political contest that started from the Court of Appeal and now ended at the Supreme Court. The decision by the Supreme Court yesterday drew the curtains to the legal process. As rightly said by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the reasons for arriving at the decision to dismiss this appeal as lacking in merit will be given at a later date. Within the ambit of the law, those powers reside in the Supreme Court. They can decide to dismiss an appeal and give the various reasons that led them to dismiss the appeal from the Court of Appeal by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Let me break it down in layman terms. What this simply means is that the Supreme Court, even before giving its judgment, is in agreement with the unanimous decision of the 5-man panel of the Court of Appeal, which is a full panel. And I'll tell you why. The Court of Appeal hardly interferes with what is referred to as a concurrent finding. A concurrent finding is a situation which arises where both the High Court and the Court of Appeal reach the same position on a single issue. In this particular instance, this matter arose from the Court of Appeal, but sitting as a full panel and being a unanimous decision has the status of a concurrent finding which the Supreme Court hardly interferes with. So, for the APC, it is victory. While for the PDP, it is a warning and a signal to prepare for the next electoral cycle.
Yeah, let me ask you, come to you now, Mr. Oyeni. I mean, has the PDP accepted the verdict coming from the highest court in the land?
Melissa, there's nothing anybody can do. See, if we should say we are bona fide Nigerians, there's nothing anybody can do. There's nothing anybody can. Once the issue has gone to Supreme Court and is back from Supreme Court, whatever the verdict is, there's nothing anybody can do. The next court is in heaven, and we are not ready to go there now. So there's nothing anybody can do. But it is a very sorry thing. You know, the Supreme Court didn't actually rule on the matters, on the petition. The court didn't rule. The court didn't rule. If the court were to rule, the court will pick the issues. This. You rule on issues about the qualification, the server, and the rest, and the rest. You understand? You pick them.
Tell us at the end of the day, a date to be announced. But I asked that because it says that Mr. Abubakar has rejected the Supreme Court's judgment, saying that the judiciary is sabotaged. And many people are saying he didn't come out right to congratulate President Buhari. So what does that say about the PDP as a democratic institution?
Well, no, whether he congratulates or he didn't, it doesn't mean. President Buhari contested for how many times? He didn't congratulate anybody. Now, he went as far as Supreme Court. Congratulation is not anything to do whether it's about sportsmanship or not. It is within the right of the person who is contesting to congratulate or not to congratulate. You know, when President Buhari started contesting in 2003, and he has not been correct. Nobody is holding. I can't hold it against him. You understand me? But the issue is that when His Excellency Atiku Abubakar said the judiciary has been sabotaged by cabal or whatever, it's an inferred statement. You know, not only him, even from Nigeria. If you read, you know, since yesterday I've been reading a lot. They say that was why Onugen, the former CGN, was removed. That was why this one was done. That was why this one was done. And I'm still standing on what I said earlier before you cut me short. The Supreme Court did not rule on the petition. What the Supreme Court said was that it said it lacks merit. That there have been the CGN said that the panel has been reviewing the petition for the past 2 weeks. This was a panel we have been asking for, that it should be empaneled. No, we didn't hear anything about a day yesterday that we heard about the panel. How can the panel be sitting without notice of Nigeria? We didn't know where the panel was sitting. That means the paper or the petition has been everywhere.
Let's hear from Mr. Lemu now. I mean, can we say today and now that our democracy constitutes a strong judiciary, a free press, and impartial electoral umpire?
Well, to a very reasonable extent, we have made large gains in our democratic march. And that march must continue. Whether the People's Democratic Party wants to be part of this march is left to them. We aspire to be a developed nation, and we accept the trend from developing nations. What happens after every electoral cycle? Just as in litigation, there must be a winner and there will be a loser. After the elections, the People's Democratic Party, not being dissatisfied with the electoral results, proceeded to court. At the end of the court contest as well, there has to be an end. That end arrived yesterday. What is expected of a political party, at one time the largest in the Sub-Saharan Africa, as the PDP prides itself, is to accept yesterday's result with equanimity and dignity. To say, yes, the Supreme Court, you have spoken. We've heard you. You are the final court. And being the final court, we accept your decision in good faith. We shall work with the APC government, and our target shall remain being a good opposition for the purpose of development and advancement of Nigeria.
So thank you.
The decision has been given yesterday. The reasons will be communicated at a later date. So in the absence of those reasons, it is not proper for us to sit on this panel to speculate on what the reasons of the Supreme Court will be.
So let's wait then. We'd like to thank you, gentlemen, APC member Mr. Aliyu Lemu and Mr. Akinloye Oyeni of the PDP for talking to us at this time.